horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, it's time to do a recap of last night's very exciting and fast-paced episode of AHS 1984. Yes. Now, as always, this recap will contain spoilers, so you didn't see last night's episode, go watch it first and then come back and watch my video. You have been warned. Now, obviously, the episode starts off kind of a little bit different. We have Dr. Karen Hoppers from the psych ward. She's heading to Camp Redwood. She's trying to warn Margaret that Benjamin, or Mr. Jingles, has escaped. He's out looking for revenge. Now, of course, Margaret says she's not going to let fear rule her, that God and the 22 snub-nosed gun that she has will protect her. Now, of course, Dr. Hopper leaves, but unfortunately, he's eventually killed by Mr. Jangles in a very brutal way, too. I think he snaps her neck or slices her and dices her. A very brutal way that he kills her. So there's another kill from Mr. Jangles. We also get our first flashback, because we know we can't have American Horror Story without any flashbacks. This time we have Brooke. She's telling Montana about a year or so ago on her wedding day, her fiancé shot his best man, her father, and did himself. Oh man, believing that she cheated on him, which of course she claimed that she didn't. But you know, what are you going to do about that? So that's why Brooke is the way she is. We also learned that Xavier did gay porn, and that his daddy came looking for him, and unfortunately he is killed by Mr. Jangles. Maybe. It also seems that the hitchhiker is not dead. He seems to be some type of a ghost from the 1970 massacre, and he can't be killed. The Night Stalker killed him twice, and he just keeps coming back. I think one of the most interesting things that happened in this episode is Richard, the Night Stalker, and Margaret, they actually have a heart-to-heart conversation. They talk about God and his killing, and you get some of Richard's backstory. Most of it was actually true based upon the real Night Stalker's life. Before he actually started killing people. He really did not have a great childhood. Now, after discovering Xavier's daddy's dead body, the gang tries to leave and get out of Camp Redwood, but unfortunately, they crash into Margaret's car. They separate. They're trying to find the keys to Rita's car and Travis's motorcycle, but fortunately, when they go into the cabins, not one, but two killers are trying their best to break into the cabins and kill everyone, and that's how the episode ends. Now, as I stated earlier, this was a fast-paced and a very interesting episode. Not only do we have Mr. Jangles killing people, but we have the Night Stalker. He's coming to Camp Redwood, so now we actually have two killers in Camp Redwood. Very interesting. Never had two killers outside the screen before in a typical 80s slasher film. There's normally just the one killer. Now, as I stated last week, we're eventually going to get some backstories of some of the gang, and here we had two. More on Brooke, but some type of a secret that from Xavier. Now, obviously, with Brooke, as I stated before, she was going to marry the love of her life, and on the wedding day, the best man, he kills his best man, he kills her father, and he kills himself, because he believed that she cheated on him, because when he saw Sam, which is his best friend, go into her apartment the night before the wedding day and leave it the next morning. I guess the guy just had nerves. Now, despite her pleas that nothing happened, and Sam also says the same thing, he said, dude, nothing happened. She admitted that she was very nervous. Sam was there for her, but he slept on the couch. But for some reason, he did not believe her, so he kills him, kills her father, and then offs himself out, saying that she doesn't deserve to be in a white gown. So he kills himself right in front of her, and a very bloody fashion too. So that's the way Brooke, the way she is. At least we now know where that ring came from that we saw in the first episode. Now, as for Xavier, the person he was running away from that we saw that phone call was a producer of gay porn. It seemed like Xavier was doing gay for paid movies, because he admits that he's not gay. And his daddy, who says he found them on the streets, he was hooked on heroin. He said he cleaned them up, made him the man that he is, and now Xavier is his biggest star on the gay porn circuit. Not wanting to have a secret discovery, he tries to get Daddy to see Travis as a replacement, because Travis brags about the size of his penis. But unfortunately, while peeping in looking at Travis in the men's shower, he is killed by an unknown assailant. Possibly Mr. Jangles, but we didn't hear any keys jangle. All he saw was the next thing you know, bam, he gets killed, and like, oh shit. Now, for some reason, our dead hitchhiker keeps coming back to life. He's, I guess, a ghost. He runs into the Night Stalker, who kills him viciously. I mean, first of all, he slices his neck, then he disembowels him. I'm like, ooh, God, it's a very vicious way. However, he comes back again, and Richard tries to kill him again, but he comes back again. Now, this disturbs Richard, and when he encounters Margaret in her cabin, they actually have a very deep conversation about God, and for the first time in life, Richard said someone's trying to listen to him. I actually thought that's one of the interesting aspects of tonight's episode was a conversation between Margaret and Richard. I thought both the actors and actresses did a fine job in portraying that. And as I said before, we get to see some backstory of Richard, and some of that they told actually happened to Richard in his life. The guy, like I said before, the guy did not have a decent childhood whatsoever. Another thing I find interesting is how Margaret looks at Richard. Very loving eyes, and I think, is it possible we might have a romantic relationship in this particular relationship? It's going to be interesting to see where they take that relationship as the season continues. But like I said before, I find that pairing very dramatic, very interesting. Now, of course, one of the things I did like was another thing I liked about when Margaret encounters the dead hitchhiker, and then little seeds are planted as we come to find out that he was one of the people that was eventually killed by Mr. Jangles. He had actually escaped, and he actually said he saw Margaret, but he didn't save her. Now, some of that story is not true as far as what Margaret said before. Could it be that Mr. Jangles is actually innocent? I have to see where that goes. Just some little tiny seeds are planted. Whether or not Margaret's story about her survival during the 1970 massacre is not true. So, as I said before, like I said, very fast-paced, very interesting episode. Once again, everyone does a pretty good job in their performances. We get backstories from Brooke. We get some secrets that are exposed by Xavier. He actually confesses to a couple of the people trapped in the cabin that this is his fault because he wanted to get away from his daddy because he doesn't want to do gay porn anymore, and so he blames himself for the situation that they're in. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. It'd be interesting to see what happens to the people, and if we see any more secrets, and of course probably more flashbacks, and maybe we'll find out more about Margaret's story and whether or not she's telling the truth or not. So my horror fans, what did you think about last night's episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was fast-paced? What do you think about the season so far? And do you think you have the same suspicion I have about Margaret? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about episode 2 of AHS 1984. Once again, that's my video for the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And once again, this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Candyman, take us home. We're out.
Be writhing.